Today's video is going to be about the store. Now, I had a couple of people ask about it, but I never actually thought about doing a video on exactly what's going on with that. But I got a reminder from Facebook today when I was trolling on Facebook trying to figure out what I'm going to do for a video today. Basically, you're not allowed on the platform. So I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, because a lot of people were curious, like, what happened to the store? Were you involved with that? Was that your store? Was that your family's store? What's going on? How did all this affect it? Because remember, I was a licensed machine gun manufacturer before all of this. So the most important thing I want you to remember, though, is that I'm currently demonetized by YouTube, likely forever, because I keep trying to get my monetization back and it's not coming on. The best way to support the channel, if you'd like to help out, is shop at OnlyTacticalFans at Shopify.com, where we have plenty of stuff like MREs, morale patches, sweaters, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, all cool stuff, and that money goes directly to me. There's no company taking a percentage out of it. And like I said, it's the best way to support the channel. So let's go on to the store. So what's going on with that? Now, I make different videos on like how YouTube got started in that. It's not like anyone's wrong or any of the videos are fake or anything like that. You gotta understand there was a whole bunch of things that came together at once that inspired me to do a YouTube channel. And yes, it didn't technically start at the point of the store. I actually started uploading in like 2011 or 2012, but I didn't really take it serious until the store. Basically, my parents had a resale store and I'm like, why don't you guys have an FFL? Like, for real, you have a brick and mortar building with a resale license. Why not have an FFL and sell some firearms? That'd be like the coolest thing ever. And so that's what they ultimately wound up doing. And I helped them with that. And we primarily advertised off of Facebook. Like, that's how we grew the store. It was crazy successful. It literally was. Well, in 2015, when all the social media levers were pulled and companies like Facebook were like, hey, you guys can't have guns on here anymore, I had to pivot. I was already doing the social media thing. I really enjoyed it. I found out that you could make a career out of YouTube. Like I said, a whole bunch of things came together at once, and I ultimately wound up going to YouTube. And the store came along with me, and the whole intent was for me to take over the store, because I'm like, well, hey, it'd partner up great with YouTube, because I have a brick and mortar building with an FFL, a machine guns license. I could use that and leverage that and be able to make more YouTube videos, because when you have your SOT, you can do a couple of different things with machine guns. Obviously sell to law enforcement or sell to the government, but you can also use them as demonstration purposes or educational purposes. So I can take a machine gun, manufacture it at the store, and then use it on my YouTube channel. That's probably how you're wondering, like, well, how do all these YouTube channels have machine guns on it? Because they're a licensed machine gun manufacturer, and you can use a machine gun on your video for educational purposes or training purposes and testing purposes, stuff like that. Would pair up perfectly with YouTube. It'd go hand in hand. And then I'm like, well, then I can take my YouTube customers and I can ultimately support the channel, because I can pull and be like, hey, if you guys like to support the channel, the best way to do it is shop at colomaresale.com. And if you're wondering, that's actually what CRS stands for, Coloma Resale. Obviously, that doesn't make sense anymore because I'm not affiliated with the store, so now it just means can't remember shit. Firearms, you know, it worked out in the laundry. The point was, I started building my YouTube channel, everything's going great, and then we run into the first event. So the first event where, hey, it might not be a good idea to have an actual physical brick and mortar location paired up with a YouTube channel was the ACSS reticle guy. So I was building the Shredder project. The whole point of that project was to test body armor, and at this point, my channel, it's on the fast track. Looking at the numbers at the point of the Shredder project, if the government would have never stepped in that, it was predicting me at like, it's either like 3 or 5 million subscribers by now. Like I said, I was growing fast, I was putting down information, we were all learning together, learning's fun, we were all having fun together, everything was going great, and I bought a scope called the Trijicon Credo for that particular rifle. And somebody had brought up, why don't you put an ACSS reticle on there? And I'm like, oh, that's a great video idea. So I made this video explaining that, hey, this gun isn't for hunting people. So all the math and everything inside the ACSS reticle, that makes it super, super convenient and super awesome. I don't really need it, because that's not the point of this rifle. The point of this rifle is I want a reticle where I can spot my shots. So I want an MOA grid, the Christmas tree reticle, and I want to be able to measure things at distance. So I can take like a pop bottle, if I know the measurements, or a stop sign or something like that, I can plug it into there. And yes, the ACS reticle does some sort of Christmas tree reticle, but the point of the video was like, hey, I don't need that information, so why even have it in there? I'd rather have a cleaner reticle. I came off the wrong way or somebody took the information the wrong way. Either way, it started this big fallout with Primary Arms and the ACSS guy. And I was confused about that. And they did a video, and at that time I'm a little bit younger in my YouTube career, so I'm thinking that drama's a good thing because it's driving traffic. And it did. I got a huge spike in views. So then I did a response video of that. They got all upset. They wind up calling the shop and basically talking to my dad and being like, hey, you need to make this guy go quiet. My dad's like, I have nothing to do with that channel. That's not me. You need to talk to my son if you want to talk to it. Anyways, we ended up squashing that. Not a big deal. Like I said, big misunderstandings. Nothing's wrong with that company. Don't hate on that company or anything like that. Again, all misunderstandings that just came together into this perfect storm. And anyways, that's when I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not the best idea to have an actual physical location or a brick and mortar store paired up with a YouTube channel because now I'm vulnerable. People can attack it. And they did. As the channel grew, I'd get people calling there and like trolling it and just leaving bad comments on the page and leaving horrible reviews when they live in California and have never even seen the store. How could you have possibly have been to the store and not like the customer service when you live on the other side of the country? Point is, like, then it started becoming a little bit apparent, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, the pros would outweigh the cons because I could still pull in a massive customer base into a store and turn that into revenue. So I'm like, well, let's keep going. The next event happens. The ATF steps in. Bam! They drop their hammer on it. They're like, hey, the person you're doing advertisements for, they're actually selling illegal machine guns, just so you know. And you're not an indicted co-conspirator. I'm like, whoa. And I've tried explaining, like, hey, I already talked to these guys, like, why, what's going on here? Like, even if his shit is a machine gun, it's not. But even if it was, I got green light on the advertisement contract because I asked before. I'm like, hey, is this a problem? They were like, absolutely not. Well, unfortunately, I couldn't prove it because the phone records at the stores, they only archived them in that particular phone company for 30 days. Like, that sucked. I had literally the smoking gun to shut all this down, and I was a day too late. Not like literally a day too late. That's the expression. You're a day late and $1 short. I was a day late and $1 short. I couldn't get this information because I made the phone call when I started advertising, and he got indicted 3 months after I started advertising. All those phone records were gone. I couldn't prove anything, so now I'm just sitting here like, all right, so, well, the ATF's involved. You know, that sucks. They've already called me an unindicted co-conspirator. They actually wrote me into the original indictment. As soon as they wrote me in the original indictment, well, now I got demonetized from YouTube. And it says right here that, oh, he was using my channel to sell illegal machine guns, which I have no idea why they would write that in an indictment unless they plan on coming after me. So I should probably just back away from the store. And at that point, I'm like, all right, Dad, so this is what's going on. Yes, I was going to take over the store. Yes, that was all going to work out. I'm probably going to be going to trial for an illegal machine gun, which blew his mind. He's like, how? And I explained the whole thing. He's like, but I was there when you called. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Without the phone records, there's nothing I can do. Nothing at all. There's no way I could prove it. Even if you testified, it wouldn't make a difference because we would be calling the government a liar in front of a jury. It would just make us look more guilty. So basically, we're going to be riding on the fact that it's not a machine gun, and we're going to have to see how it pans out. He's like, well, that really sucks. You know, I hope the best for you, and we'll just continue on. And after all this blows over, if you'd still like to take over the store, that'd be great. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it will. You know, I'll be found innocent. Not a big deal. There's no jury in the world that's going to convict somebody over a drawing. Little did I know. So anyways, back out of the store, and everything would have been fine. I would have went to prison. I would have got out. The store would have continued on its own way without my involvement. And I would have been waiting for my appeal. And if my appeal won, then I would have had to make the decision, do I still want to take over the store? That would have been all great. And then the next big event happens. Boom! MSNBC comes and does that hit piece article on me. And it affected, I'm still finding out today about, they called everyone. Like they got me blacklisted on the internet, basically. I'm still, like I said, I'm just recently found out again that, oh, they also affect my storefront. Only Shopify at techfans.com. And that's not allowed to be shown on Google or anything. So the only people that actually go to that store are people that click on the link. And that makes sense because I'm like, what happened? When I went in, This store was generating enough money where I would have been good. It was pulling enough traffic. With you guys going to that and clicking on the link, it would have brought the Google search rating high enough that if somebody typed in tactical on the internet, my store would have been right in the top search ratings and I would have generated a lot of customers, especially because of the fact that my MREs are competitively priced. I didn't just randomly pick a price on my MREs. I searched the internet and I'm like, all right, so this is low, this is high, this is where I'm going to go, right in the middle. Why is stuff not selling? Why am I getting so little traffic? Like a tenth of what I used to get. And then I learned that, oh, hey, they also contacted Google and you're basically not allowed on Google. So your store's been blacklisted as well because it violates Google policy, which at the time it violated Google policy. It only sold patches. I don't understand how a patch violates terms of service policies. Anyway, so that store can't be showing on Google. It can't be showing on my YouTube page. It can't be showing anywhere. So the only traffic coming there is you guys clicking on that link. It's not going to rank in search unless you type in the link directly or type in only tactical fans or click there off the link. You're not going to type in like MREs and have only tactical fans pop up. It won't. It's blacklisted. So like I said, I keep finding out like every day something else that this reporter contacted and screwed up. Well, one of the other things he contacted was Facebook about the store. And so I'm in prison. It's 2022 now? 2023? 2023? I think it was 22. I can't remember when the article came out. Point is, yeah, he contacts Facebook. So Facebook contacts my parents like, hey, you can't ever show this page on Facebook. The page can exist, but the only way people are going to come here is if you get them to come off of a direct link. We're not going to let anyone search us out. We're not going to let anyone find it. You're not going to get any more new viewers because MSNBC contacted us and apparently your son was selling illegal machine guns on YouTube and somehow that's relevant to you guys. They connected the dots, so they killed the page. They ultimately tried making a new page. It didn't matter. Without somebody on social media driving the traffic, the page was a dud. My poor stepmom's out there still trying to make the store page go, and it failed. And we live in a town of 450 people. You cannot survive off of foot traffic. That store worked because it was hooked to the internet. The internet was bringing people in all across Wisconsin. And that's how I did it too, is like I said, back in the early days of Facebook, they had these gun groups and they were just so incredibly toxic. Like AK gun groups and that somebody posts a picture of their AK and they'd just get littered with comments like, oh, I hope you die tomorrow or get some sort of cancer because that is the stupidest thing. I can't believe you did this or that to your gun. And I'd step in and I'd start trolling the trolls and I'd be like, hey, if you want to buy another gun, come to Coloma Resale. And yeah, it just raked in customers. They've got like 1,600 subscribers to the page or something like that. Anyways, kind of jumping all over the weeds of the story. The point is, Facebook's like, no, you guys can't have anything on here. So those subscribers and that were a waste. They tried making a new page and it ultimately failed because they're not social media influencers. They're just not. It's not what they do. My stepmom tries. She really does. Bless her heart. She's really trying out there, but it's a waste of time. So ultimately, that led to the death of the store. Wha-bam! It's just not making money anymore. It hasn't made money since basically I got incarcerated. Yeah, it still did for a while, but the article, that was the nail in the coffin. Because before they could post like a knick-knack or whatever they're advertising, it would pop in like buy-sell trade groups and people coming to buy that stuff. But after it got blacklisted after the article, yeah. As far as I know, right now my dad's currently selling that. But yeah, without social media in a town this small or some sort of internet traffic, you just can't survive. And so that's what's going on with the store. So no, I didn't own it. Yes, the ATF also did crush it. Not directly, but with them and then the anti-gun people doing the article, they smashed it in the ground and ultimately made it not profitable and brought to the death of it. Will I ever go back to a store even after I win my appeal? Honestly, I don't think so. Yeah, the ATF made it clear that, hey, we'll throw you in prison rather than, stand up for what's true. Stand up for what's right. And because if I open another store, I would be under that same ATF agent and that. Do I really want to do that again? Literally, dude held the key for my fucking freedom the whole entire time. And all he had to do was be like, yes, that's true. I did tell him it was okay. Instead, he was like, I never met the guy. I have no idea who he's talking about. Even though we were setting up the SOT together and we were in constant contact, and I was calling him multiple times a month, he didn't know who I was, never had talked to me. Yeah, I don't really want to run an FFL under that ATF agent again and possibly wind back up in federal prison. It's just too big of a liability. Honestly, if you have a store and you have a gun shop, or if you have a YouTube channel and you have a store or a gun shop, I would probably pick one or the other. I wouldn't directly advertise just because of my experience. Yeah, yours may not be the same, and yes, I was out there definitely kicking the bushes, causing a stink, because I believe in the Second Amendment, and I just can't keep that quiet in my videos. If I would have did your normal, like, oh, what's the name of that? Classic Firearm? The people that do the gun giveaways. If I would have done videos like that, yeah, it would probably would have been just fine. Just a whitewashed, we're not going to get anything political. If we do, we're going to dabble in it, but mainly we're here strictly to advertise the store. If I would have did something like that, yeah, it probably would have been fine. But if you're going to actually be like an actual Second Amendment advocate, I wouldn't have a brick and mortar, because they are definitely going to attack it. Maybe not the ATF, but the anti-gun people are. And they actually pulled a lot of power. Like I said, that YouTube guy, for that reporter from MSNBC, he literally was able to go in there and pull the shutdown switch. He killed that business single-handedly. He killed multiple businesses, but that was a big one, because that one wasn't even technically related to me. Yeah, it was. I did advertise there, but it wasn't mine. It was my parents'. Anyway, sorry for the rant, but a lot of people had a lot of questions, so I really wanted to go in deep in this. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you'd like to help support the channel directly, one of the best ways to do it is click on my Amazon affiliate link. Just by clicking on that link, even if you don't purchase that particular link, it's for. Just clicking on it. Do the Amazon shopping you're already going to do anyway. I have a little kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.